Hey there, Cromwell community. I'm Matthew Newton. This is Beyond the Sale and episode 4. Today we have Gareth Noble here with us. He's a local barber. He's actually just next door to us here. So if you need your local haircut, you know who to go and see. I'll let Gareth take it away.
Yeah, so obviously next door to these guys, and been operating 5.5 years now. Yeah, back in my local town, and it's been a interesting journey to say the least.
Yeah, and you were born and bred in Cromwell, and
No, I was born in South Africa.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got
that born in South Africa, moved over to New Zealand 2003. So what's that? 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And Cromwell from pretty much the get-go. Christchurch for a little bit, and then here. So schooling here, and then bounced around the country a wee bit, and ended up back here. Yeah, raising a daughter, and trying to do business.
Yeah, and what brought you back to Cromwell? Why did you choose to come back and set up a business?
Lifestyle. So I had the wee one on the way, post-COVID pregnancy, a bit of a whoopsie, but it's turned out pretty good. So I knew how good Cromwell was for her, and my parents were living here. So unfortunately, the relationship with her mum didn't end up so great. So it's been just me and her. But it's been pretty awesome being in Cromwell for that side of things. Yeah, with the wee one. So she's almost 5 and at school now. So next chapter with her as well. But she's been along for the ride with the business with me. So been a hard task trying to start a business and be a single dad. But take all the challenges.
Done a good job of being a single dad.
Yeah, trying to. Yeah, she keeps me in check pretty well.
She's pretty onto it, eh?
Yeah, she's got my smart ass nature, so she keeps me in check a lot. Yeah.
And what made you decide to become a barber?
I had done a lot of jobs that I kind of didn't like, so I think I was ticking off the boxes and going, don't like this, and then I was at a bit of a crossroads with what I wanted to do, and I'd kind of always cut my own hair and cut a few mates' hair along the way, and kind of thought, oh well, give it a go, try it as a job, seeing that I enjoy it as a hobby. And I know they always say don't do your hobbies as your jobs, but built a career, and I think it came at a pretty good time in my life where it was a wee bit lost, didn't know what I wanted to do, and found barbering, and it's created pretty awesome career lifestyle crossover, I guess, and buried my life into barbering, which is created that, I guess. I don't like to use the word passion because I think that's a wee bit corny, but I love doing it. Like, I love the job. I got my client base at the moment, 95 to probably almost 100% of my clients that I love seeing. So it makes it easy to go to the shop every day.
Yeah, and you're very much a people person as well, and you sort of touched on a common theme that I've had through the last 3 episodes, which is doing what you enjoy, and you sort of
100%.
Never work a day.
Yeah. I can probably say that, it's almost been 10 years doing what I'm doing now. I can less than what I can count on one hand of days that I haven't wanted to go to work, and I think that's what's kept the drive there and kept the enjoyment. And even when you're having a bit of a rough morning, you might at that point get a client that comes in that just goes bang, all right, you're back into it and like enjoying it again. They might spark something in you again. So, and like any business, I'd imagine, I can only speak for the business I'm in, is you have your peaks and your lows and all of that. And so, those lows, sometimes it's one of your clients that actually just snap you out of it and go, hey, like, you got it pretty good, like I get to talk shit all day for a job, and people pay me for it, so it's not too bad. Like, there's worse things in life.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing, I guess. You're interacting with so many people every day. Everybody brings you a different story.
100%. Yeah, and like I have policemen, doctors, lawyers, accountants, real estate agents. People from every industry, walk of life. So. As much as I get to chat to them, I actually utilize their knowledge as well. So I'm picking their brain consistently when I'm chatting with them. So there's financial advisors that come in and they're paying me for a haircut, but I'm using them I'm just kind of picking and being like, so where are you thinking I should invest at the moment? And like, so that part's pretty cool. Like the amount of knowledge that I've learned just from my clients from all different walks of life it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah. And do you sort of see yourself staying in Cromwell and staying in the barbering business?
I'd love to stay in the industry as long as my body will let me. I've realized quite recently that I'd been doing probably 2 years, 2.5 years of 12-hour days, and it's taken a toll on my body.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not an industry that we're doing any heavy lifting or anything, apart from a bit of mental heavy lifting. But like, we're on our feet all day. We're kind of moving in the same motions, terrible posture, all of that sort of stuff. So that tends to take a toll. But as long as my body will let me do it, I'll carry on. I can't really see myself doing anything else. But you know, staying in Cromwell, I don't know. I've kind of, in a way, been forced to stay here with my daughter, but that's also a choice. Yeah. Once she kind of hits high school, we might decide we want to go somewhere else. She might go to high school elsewhere. So yeah, we'll you know, for that, at least the next probably 8 years I'll be here and still building the business, hopefully.
Yeah. And do you see yourself training people to sort of run the business so you can take a bit of a step back from the day to day?
I don't think I think I'm a bit too much of a control freak in my own business. Like,
and you are your business.
Exactly. So it's like trying to bring, like, I've had barbers come in and work occasionally, and yeah, it's tough. It's hard to let someone else do what I'm doing. Like, and I always say to clients, and I say to other barbers, like, I don't consider myself the greatest barber, but I do give a shit about what I'm doing. Like, my clients are my bread and butter, and I want to see them leave with a smile. And I feel like, you know, that's where I've created a success in my business, is that I give a shit. So that, I guess, the results come from that. I'd love to train someone, but the hard thing I've noticed for me is I would probably need another barber working full time for me to put time and effort into that second person.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like half-assing teaching someone. I think if I'm going to teach someone, I want to give them all. And you know, I'm happy to help someone progress their skills, but already be kind of on their journey, cutting and all of that, and I can just help refine where I can refine. So someone did that for me, so I would love to do that for someone else. But Cromwell's a hard sell for people, I think, sometimes, to come live here, unless you're a specific type, like you got the family and you're ready to settle, because it's not the party town. No. You're not going to get the younger ones here who know, you know, the pubs are going to be, you know, going off till 2 a.m. I'm sometimes open later than the bars, so you know, that's you don't tend to see a lot of places where your barber's open later than your pub. So
no, definitely not. And so tell us a little bit more about the barbering industry. Is it something that you'd sort of recommend people to get into?
If you like working, it is hard work. Like, I will say that it's not. We make it look easy because we're giving advice, we're having general conversation whilst doing a skill at the same time. So it's multifaceted. You've got to be able to work hard. I think to be successful in barbering, you've got to work hard. It doesn't come easy. I think you talk to any successful barber, whether it's a shop owner or a contractor who travels around. We make it look easy because we enjoy it. I guess that's probably the easiest way to put it. But the romanticized online version of barbering, where you've got these barbers traveling around cutting, you know, professional athletes and cutting movie stars, like, that's the really small percentage. And for those people, that's awesome. They've cut out that little niche market for themselves and they've done really well. But the everyday barber working in small towns or in cities, it's 10-hour days, it's on your feet all day, it's talking, it's relentless. Like, but it's rewarding. You're rewarded by seeing that smile on a client when they get up and they look in the mirror and they go, oh, awesome. Like, and they feel refreshed, and you get a few that it almost looks like there's a weight lifted off of them because they've gotten to, you know, complain about their wife for half an hour or something like that. Like, you know, bitch about the family, or, you know, their boss that's a dick, like those sorts of things where, you know, and I found that for for a lot of guys, it's the one time they get to sit down and just be looked after. Because a lot of the time, and it's just you can say it's a generalization, but for a lot of guys, they just nonstop. They're on the go all day, and so when they get that 40 minutes or an hour to sit down, I've actually watched guys almost fall asleep because they literally just stop and they're just like, oh, okay, yeah,
we're done.
yeah, or they sit there and it's just like verbal diarrhea because they finally get a chance to just let things out. And I've heard some things that shouldn't be said to people before from guys in my chair, which is, it's cool that they feel relaxed enough and but I feel like guys in general just don't get that space. Like, it's not, for a long time, hasn't been normalized for a guy to go get a facial or to go get his nails done or something like that. But it's, you go to the barber and that's for men is a lot of time their wee space. So I think from that side, it's challenging for the barber because we take a lot on, we hear a lot of stuff, so we have to learn to leave that at work, and rather than taking it home into our own lives, where we can start feeling all of that heaviness that's been put on by our clients. So another challenge that comes within the industry, but you wouldn't do it if you weren't a people person, or I've seen barbers who aren't people persons.
Yeah,
but and they do okay, they do well, but and I've had clients that sometimes sit in my chair and go, I don't really want to talk, I just want a haircut.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, sweet, man. Yeah. Like, I'll talk to the barber next to me. Like, it's it is a lifestyle industry though. That's 100% what it is. You're never going to be rich unless you have the multi-chain barbershops with 30 employees and you're making cream of them. But the everyday barber, you do it because you enjoy it. And the challenges that come along with it keep you grounded, I guess.
Yeah. And would you say you have quite a bit of flexibility within your job?
I do now.
Yeah.
I thought I did when I opened the shop, and I learnt the hard lesson that you've got to work hard before you can get there. So work hard before you play hard. And I kind of was like, oh, I'm my own boss now. I can do whatever I want. And then got a quick reality check of going, no, it's the other way around. Like, work really, really hard. And yeah, it was probably there was a point where I almost closed the shop because I was like, it wasn't working, and that was on my own back, that I did things that I shouldn't have done and took breaks when I shouldn't have taken breaks. And so for a good 2-year period there, I just went hammer and tongs into the business and built the business up even more to where now I'm booked out every day. And so it gives me that more flexibility where I'm not so stressed about making sure people are in the chair. It's more stressed about making sure I can provide for the people in the chair. So yeah, I think it is hard. It is, business is hard. But, the flexibility that comes with it that you don't have when you work for someone else. Like, you're having to report to that person all the time, and when you want time off, you've got to, put in for time off. So now I can kind of, when I want a day off with my daughter, I can have a day off. Yeah.
And for anyone out there that may be watching, is there sort of any advice that you give to the people watching, if they were looking to start a barbering business or just any business in general? What's one thing that sort of really helped you get all of those clients and sort of build your business?
Actually, I've been thinking about that, because I knew it would be coming, and my first answer was just going to be don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. Like, no, it's not. Yeah. Don't do it. Actually, when I watched the first episode you did, and the guy probably described it perfectly, was just like eating glass. Like, and that's I was just like, dude, you're on. Like, that's right. But prepare for hell. That's what I would honestly say is, like, I probably found it even harder because I was raising a daughter by myself while trying to do the business. So that part, adding the extra stress, I guess. The business is stressful enough, and I've always told even my new partner now, I said to her, I was like, don't get sick and I don't get stressed, and she's like, yeah, bullshit. I can honestly say, like, it's rewarding. It is rewarding, but it's hard. It's a mixture of luck, perseverance, hard work, long nights. Even when you got a day off, you don't actually have a day off because the back of your mind, there's stuff going. You got to constantly be on the ball. I'd say do your homework on the industry you're going to go into or whatever you're deciding. Remember that, I guess, the positives that come from working for someone else is that you've got holiday pay, sick pay, KiwiSaver, all of those things that you kind of forget about when you open a business, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm gonna make more money. It's like, yeah, but after you've paid the tax man and your lease and your power and all of that sort of stuff, and you get left with a little bit at the end for all the hard work you've done. So that the rewards come, but not through luck. They come through hard work. A bit of luck along the way does help, but yeah, I'd say investing in yourself as well is massive. So like I was doing a bit of therapy in that, and that was massive for me because that helped my clients, which built my client base. And it's a lot of the time hard for a lot of people to admit that they were willing to go to therapy to fix themselves, to make whatever they're doing better. But at the end of the day, it was like people are willing to pay money to go get a facial or go get a massage, go get new clothes, buy a new car. But as soon as you go, oh, it's $100 an hour for therapy, they go, oh, that's a bit much. So it's like, and I was like, yeah, but at that $100 an hour, I was investing in myself. So I was investing in my ability to be able to talk to people, ability to, I guess, have emotional confidence and, emotional stability and all of that. And that, across the board, business, home life, all the relationships, all of that. It's that investment in yourself to make sure that the business thrives, because if the business thrives, the family doesn't. So you need, at the end of the day, you'll get people who say they don't like money. I love money. And the only way I'm going to make money is by working hard. So anyone who says they don't like money, I dare to say they ain't lying, because it's not necessarily the zeros in the bank account. It's what that brings you, the opportunity, the freedom it does bring, with especially the family. It gives you time with your family, but in the irony, you're losing time with your family by putting it into the business. So yeah, the balance, I guess, is the hard one, I'd say, of all of it. I think I've been lucky and unlucky in a sense that I have my daughter 50-50. So 1 week I could go 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, just full throttle into the business. And then the following week with her, I could work less, invest in her. So lucky and unlucky, I guess, in a sense, forced into an unlucky situation, but lucky in the sense that I can invest in both my business and my daughter and not feel like I'm losing out, I guess.
And that's like a really good point that you touched on as well, that I don't think we've sort of spoken about through any of the episodes yet, which is investing in yourself. And I guess what you did was quite a tough thing, to admit going to therapy, and lots of people wouldn't openly share that. So thanks for sharing that with us today. But, you got the value in that. And, it's a great thing that it's made you better person in terms of communicating, building yourself,
100%,
building relationships.
And I've spoken to a few people, because once I did it, I was like, oh, okay, this is normal. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, there's a lot wrong with me, but there's nothing like, really wrong with me. It was just, there was things I hadn't dealt with, and whether that had been whether it was relationship with, past partners, or the relationship that I had with my parents, or whatever. Not that it's bad, but there's, everyone has their ups and downs and the things they want to work on. And then the conversations I'd have with my clients, where I'd be quite open and be like, hey, I've been doing this. And they're like, and I'm recommending to my clients, hey, maybe go to therapy. And they go, there's nothing wrong with me. And I'm like, not at the moment. But, you go to therapy and you gain those tools. So when something does go wrong, I've now, and it's more on the emotional side, but that all does translate, that now I've got those tools that when something goes wrong, I'm going, oh, yep, no, cool, I can fix that. I don't need to spend a week, wallowing in something. I can just go, bang, I'm done. Let's go. We're ready to go now. So I think it was an investment at the time, but it was also future investment. And I think that goes not just because everyone's willing to go to the gym. They want to go to the gym, invest in the physical, but then, leave the mental on the side. And it's like, yeah, you can run a marathon, but your thoughts aren't going away. They're going to be there. Like, they ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. And last question for you before we finish off. If you had a crystal ball and could go back in time, would you choose the same path?
Oh, It's a hard one because I have had this conversation a lot with clients and that, and it is a hard one because I would, if you asked me straight and I was going to give you a snap answer, say no, no way in hell would I put myself through what I have. But the resilience I've learned from what I've done, you know, through the business and through the parenting by myself, and that the two have had to work side by side, and I've made it twice as hard for myself by having I had a baby and opened a shop in the same year, and then you know 6 months later it was like, oh shit, now I'm doing it by myself. So all of that, I would say no. I would have focused on working for someone else and raising my daughter and that, but you know, 5.5 years down the line, I've now been able to create a lifestyle for me and my daughter where my one, and I always go back to what success is. Like for each person, it's different.
Yeah.
My thing, and it's very small, but my thing of success was to be able to go to the supermarket and not look at my bank account, to just go buy what we needed or what we wanted, and not have to look at what's in there. And you know, I might not be there yet, but I know I'm on the path to getting to that point where I'm not worrying about what's there. It is what it is, and I'm building towards that. But besides that point, being able to look at my daughter, and when she asked me for stuff, like, you know, like, hey, she wants this toy, or she wants that, it's to be able to say to her no, not because I can't afford it, but because I don't think we need it, or I don't think it's a good idea at the time. And I think people do go, oh, you know, it's not all about financial. And I was like, well, why else do you go to work? You don't go to work for fun. Like, you know, no, you can't tell me you go to work because you enjoy it and that's the end of it. Like, you're either lucky that you enjoy going to work and you get paid for it, which is a bonus. But you can't tell me there's anyone out there that doesn't go to work because they're going to get paid. So the financial side is why you go to work. And if you enjoy it, it is a massive bonus. Like, and if you enjoy the people you work with, that's even better. But, you know, when you work by yourself, you kind of don't have a choice. You got to enjoy that person you're with. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's some good stuff there. And is there anything else that you'd like to add in there for the
Come
people?
get haircuts. Like, you know, feed my daughter. Yeah. I need to send her to a good school. So, yeah. No, I just say, you know, if you're thinking about going to business, do your research. That's the biggest one, I'd say. And you can't plan for what's going to go wrong. I opened my shop with the basis that there was no backstop. Like, this had to work.
Go all in, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So I resigned from my old job at my old shop, and I'll put it this way: I was doing well. I was getting good money. I had a good lifestyle, and I threw that away to go back to the start. Not threw it away, and it was all or nothing. It was like, if this doesn't work, there's no backup. So I think you have to go in with the mentality that this is going to work, and research your competitors. That's a big one. And I always told people, and I said to them, this isn't an arrogant thing that I say. It's that I'm not here competing against anyone. I'm here offering what I offer. And if that works for people, awesome. And I'll make sure that once you've been in my chair once, you're not going to go anywhere else. And that's from the conversation we have, the service I offer, just the general feel of what I create in the shop. You know, it's that comfortable feel, and I want people to be able to walk into my environment and feel comfortable. So I'd say, whatever your industry is, research is the biggest one, and build a plan. Your plan's going to change. My plan for 5 years of what I've done now is definitely not what I'd started with. So, yeah, plan it and make sure full throttle and hold on. Yeah, get ready.
Cool. Easy, mate. Thank you
awesome.
so much.
No worries.
Good stuff. Thanks for joining us there today.
No worries.
And guys, that's episode 4 of Beyond the Sale. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.